when you know that you have reached the end of your capacity to believe something, or you simply don't believe it, something goes wrong, and you're the kind of person that is trying to find excuses just to justify yourself and find your way out. When you get to that point where you just know that you're not going to be able to go any further, there are usually two options, two things that are going to happen. You have two options to what to do. The first one is you just keep going the same way, find excuses, look for something that will help you explain the reason why you fail and the reason why you cannot rise to the occasion, and just quit. And you stick to that. It can be something in the environment, or it can be something in your mind, whatever. But you're just gonna stick to that idea, to that perception, to that belief, and you are going to claim pretty much yourself unmovable, that nothing is going to change the way you're thinking, and you're not going to be able to move one step forward from where you're standing right now. Your second option is that whatever is in front of you, and it is understandable that you fear it, that it probably scares you, because it's, in the end, it's uncertainty, it's the unknown. And in order to face uncertainty, you just have to say, okay, whatever it is, I'm just gonna keep going, and I have to find a way to believe that things can change. I have to find a way to believe in myself, to believe that I have to have the capacity to take 1, 2, or 3 more steps forward. Don't misunderstand the fact of being resilient and moving forward. Being resilient and moving forward is not necessary. Don't put the pressure of I have to succeed, I have to do things well in the end, otherwise I'm a failure, because that's what happens with a lot of people. Resilience is not always winning in the end. It's just the fact that you say, I fought as much as I could, I gave it all I got, and I didn't quit. So you gotta remove from your mind the idea of, unless I win and things turn out well in the end, it is worthless, and unless good things unless it turns out the way that I want to in the end, then that's just gonna mean that it doesn't matter if I kept going and I reach the limits of my capacity, and I kept going, and even surprise myself, probably surprise yourself in the moment, because you're still standing at that moment in the race. But in the end, you don't win the race. You end up in probably in third position, or fifth, or even 100, but you finished it. And that's a second option. You got to keep going. Don't put the pressure of winning immediately when you're barely getting used to say, I'm gonna transcend the limitations that I have right now. So those are the two options that you have. You can face the unknown and say, okay, I don't like it, I fear it, I quit it, this is as far as I get. And the second option is saying, I'm just gonna keep moving, I'm just gonna go forward. You gotta find again, you have to find that what if I go one more step or 2 more steps, and I get a second win, and I start feeling good with myself, and that might push you even longer than you ever thought you could get. You reach the point where you're gonna quit, and you can go either one way or the other. If you go the first option where you stop and quit, nothing is gonna change. You're gonna keep being the same person, even if you try 100 or 1,000 times. If you don't go one more step forward beyond the limit, you're just not gonna change. Things are not going to change. Just going one step at a time. The second option, just moving forward a little more, going one step at a time, even if that's the way you want it. I'll take 1 more step, I'll take 2 more steps. If I'm working out and I'm on the treadmill, I usually do 45 minutes. Okay, do 45 and a half. go for 46 or 47 minutes, little by little. That's the only way you're gonna start. That's when the horizon starts clearing for you, and that's when your mind starts showing you the what if, that there is something more that you can do. There is a little, there is not a little, but there is further away you can get. You have to find the reason. You have to find a why you will turn all your resources, all the resources inside of you towards that goal, and say, I'm not stopping this time. I'm not gonna reach this point and say, okay, that's it, I'm good with this. You have to be able to look, whatever is stopping you, you have to be able to look at it right in the eye and say, I can go a little longer. And just going a little longer every day, I'm going to get to the point where I'm going to conquer this. I'm going to master whatever it is that I need to master in order to become better and to grow and get closer and closer to the point where I'm going to succeed. The thing is, you have to focus on moving forward. Don't focus on the thing that is stopping you, on whatever. If you can find the one thing, what is it that stops you? It could be a certain time, a certain distance, a certain person, a certain time of project or job. But don't spend too much time thinking on that, because the more time you dedicate your thoughts to that thing, the bigger it's going to become. The time instead you move your focus on what do I need to do to transcend this? What is it gonna take? What is that just one more step gonna take from me? You have to learn to identify right away the self-language that is happening. The self-language that's going through your mind when you are facing the situation and you get into the point where you usually stop. When you get into whatever it is that makes you feel bad and makes you quit, you gotta be conscious of what's going through your mind, and you have to identify it right away, and you gotta stop it right then and there, immediately, because that's what's feeding all the bad feelings, all the fear and all the doubt and everything else that comes to you and makes you feel unsure and uncertain, and it just makes it bigger, and it just makes you feel small and make you think small too. You gotta pay attention to that. Like it's like that person, that friend that you used to have, or you probably have a friend that even now that you know that every time you see that person is complaining about everything, and when you see him coming, you know right away what's going on, and you know right away what that person is bringing to you and how you're gonna feel about it.